Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you again for joining another episode of Dream Girl Dream. And I'm excited tonight to have Danisha Rolle with me. How are you, Denisha? Thank you for being my guest.
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Denisha and I are both from Evanston. You were born in Evanston, right?
Born in
Yes.
Evanston. Yes.
We're
Yes.
both in Evanston. We went to the same high school. I graduated a year before you.
Mm-hmm.
And now we both live in Florida. We don't live near each other, but we both live in Florida. And Denisha is a wife. She is a mom of three. She is a business owner, and I'm excited to have you. So, you ready to get started, Denisha?
I am ready. Yes, yes, yes. Now you say mom of three. I have a bonus
Oh,
daughter, so I always say mom of
mama
four.
four. Okay, mama four. I
Yep.
understand that. So, while we talk about motherhood, what is the best part of motherhood?
Oh my goodness. The best part, and there's so many. That's a good question. I would think the best part is really watching your children grow. I mean, developing their own personalities, some of the things that you instill in them, seeing them really learn and just flourish.
Yeah, I agree.
And the
And just
flourishing isn't always, it's like when I'm watching my kids, I'm seeing things that they're doing, even when they're bumping their heads or
mhm,
making a mistake.
mhm.
Flourishing in the sense that they're making that mistake and then growing from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you see yourself, you see
Oh,
yourself. I'm going through that
yes.
with my 15-year-old right now. So I get it.
Yes.
So I know that you are the owner of the magazine Set, and it is a sports entertainment magazine. Can you tell us what was the catalyst for you to even start that magazine?
Yes. So I created Set, which has now become a platform because I would go to different sports events, games, and I would see so many women that were female fans. And as I sat in the games and watched games, all of the advertisement were geared towards the men. And I
Mm,
realized that there are so many female fans, but there's no sports lifestyle platform for them that presents sports in a way that women are interested in seeing it. So many of us watch the NFL, you may watch the Super Bowl before you would even watch the Grammys or the Oscars.
mhm.
And so I realized that women want to know where are these guys going and where are these women going? Who are their spouses or significant others? And so I decided that, it was time to launch something that spoke to those fans.
So I know that in your magazine, like you go deep, you see more than surface, you see their houses, you see their lifestyle. How do they let you in there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you get access to all of that?
Well, a lot of it is relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, being that my husband played, and many of the athletes want to have some exposure and want
Mm-hmm.
to grant access and tell their stories. And they know that I'll do it in a respectful way, but at the same time, allowing fans to either be inspired or motivated or encouraged by the stories that we share.
Okay. And I know that you went to Florida A&M,
Yes, ma'am.
Pepperdine, HBCU. Now,
Absolutely.
what did you want to do? Did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, like when you were in college?
Well, I knew that I wanted to do some sort of psychology. That's
Mhm.
really what my major was.
Okay.
And then when I went on to Pepperdine, it was marriage, family, child therapy. And
Mm.
it was still psychology, but that was the emphasis. And then when I started working in the field, I realized that unless I was an entrepreneur, I wasn't going to really make the money that I wanted to see. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm still able to talk to people and really, learn about them, but just
Mm-hmm.
in a different way.
So how long have you been married?
It'll be 17 years.
Okay, I'm 17 right now.
Yes, congrats, girl.
Thank you. It'll be 18 in September.
Mhm.
So with marriage, for children, a business, and where it's can talk about your other business with the ladies. Do you believe in balance?
I don't. Absolutely
Okay.
not. Yes, there is no such thing as balance. I prioritize,
Okay.
I think that once you are focused on one thing, something else is inevitably going to lack.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, even when I'm thinking about my children, looking at them, focusing on one, somebody else is back doing something else, so you just have to prioritize what's pressing, what needs your attention at the time, and then, time management is key.
Now I know that you produce movies as well. So how did you fit all that in with the set, the movies, your other, what is it called? Ladies? I wrote it, I didn't get
Ladies
to
level up.
Ladies Level Up. How do you balance all of that? Because I'm going through that right now, having ABC of my own dreams, but I got 3 kids and I got a husband. So like, how do you fit all that in? Or like you say, it's prioritized. Right now I'm focusing on movies. Right now I'm focusing on, the other thing.
Right. So it is a combination of what you're focusing on, but then also delegating, and developing a team. So people that also have a similar passion. So Mark Harris is a phenomenal writer, director, and producer. And I knew that I wanted to produce film. So I started receiving scripts, and I would read the different scripts and, pick, whichever one resonated with me or I felt like would move an audience. And Mark was one of those directors who I felt aligned with, and we were able to do projects together. And so that is how I got into films. When I was in LA at Pepperdine, I did some extra work, just someone that was in school at the time, in grad school. And I would always find myself being featured, even as an extra. And so from there, I built relationships with the different directors and was asked to act. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm in a position now that I don't need to just act. I want to be behind the scenes and help to produce. And so that's really how I got into the production end of it.
Awesome. Now, do you do any of these things with your husband on your entrepreneurial endeavors?
Always consulting him, asking him what he thinks. He is 100% in support. So it's like a partnership.
Awesome. So tell us about the Ladies Level Up. Am I saying that right? Tell us about that.
So Ladies Level Up came because we did the Women of the NFL conference. It's a set an example conference for the women of the NFL. And there were so many women that were like, well, wow, I want to come. Do I have to be the wife of an athlete to come? And since there were so many women that were not, we said, well, you know what? Here's another demographic that wants to do, go to events and attend and foster that sense of community. So that's what made me do Ladies Level Up with Elisha Bennett. You know Elisha from Evanston. And so we started Ladies Level Up, and it's been incredible. Our next event is March 20th, actually here in South Florida.
So how often do you have those events, and what are they? Are they just like parties? What are they?
Oh, okay. So how often? Now, COVID threw a wrench in
right?
So now that we're just beginning to open back up, restaurants are having more capacity, allowed to have more capacity. We're having, events again. So we want monthly, but then actually an annual event as well. So that's what we've been working on. And the women are just women in business, or women that, want to level up in their lives in some way, whether it's, personal development or taking their business to the next level.
Now you mentioned Alicia, and I've seen you, in other businesses with friends and, coworkers or teammates. So how important is a tribe?
Oh, it's paramount. It is, of utmost importance. You got to have your tribe. You got to have those people that are going to help to push you, to encourage you. You're not going to be on a high every day, but then you also have your accountability partners. So if I say, hey girl, this is my dream, this is what I want to do, having someone that is like-minded and that is going to hold your feet to the fire. Like, look, you said this is what you want to do. What's up? That tribe to me of women, no matter what you're going through, to help to hold you accountable, pick you up when you're down, make you laugh when you want to cry, or just let you cry. That is important.
Have you ever been in a position where you felt stuck?
Stuck. In business, I have felt stuck. I'm typically a self-motivated type though. And I always, I'm looking back at myself like, what are you doing? But I have felt stuck before. And I think the root of it was fear.
How did you get out of it though? And you can answer that same question. How did you get out of being stuck? To how do you keep yourself motivated, even though you're self-motivated? You know what I mean? How do you pour into yourself?
Yeah. So fear for me, it kind of actualized in procrastination, in, really dragging my feet. What are you doing? What is the problem? And I think it was, when you have dreams that are sometimes bigger than you, maybe
Mhm.
bigger than your budget or bigger than your network, or, you feel like your dream is, hey, dream girl, when you have these dreams,
Mhm.
sometimes you have to step outside of yourself. And for me, stepping out of my side of myself is like, Lord, if this is what you would have me to do, I want to be in alignment with what you have for me.
Mhm.
And so if this is really where you see me, show me or place the right people. And I
Mhm.
just believe that God answers prayer, he hears. And
Mhm.
so often I have gone to an event, it maybe have been an event that I didn't even want to go to, and end up
Mhm.
meeting someone that can help to connect the dots. Or, picking myself up, because when you ask, well, how do you get out of it? It is, do I want to see myself in the same place this time next year?
Mhm. Good question.
And if I don't, how am I going to change whatever it is that's going on? What benchmarks can I set? What dates can I set and commit to, so that a month from now I can look back and say, girl, you did that. So I'm
Awesome.
always challenging myself in that way so that there will be progress.
Awesome. So what about, like we said, motivating yourself? What about, how do you keep yourself up on current events or leveling up yourself? Do you read? Do you watch CNN? How do you stay abreast?
Yes, I am an avid reader. Love, love, love to read, and really believe that leaders are readers.
I do too.
And
What are you reading
so
right now?
I just finished Atomic Habits.
Okay, I've heard of that.
And I just started that book because, and the one thing. So it was the one thing, and then I did Atomic Habits, those two books. And my purpose for reading those was coming out of the pandemic. We had a lot of downtime, and time to think and really figure out. For so many people, it was pivotal. What's next? You have to kind of reroute or even restructure our businesses. And during that time, I said, you know what, if I was going to focus on something, what should it be? And so those were the reasons. And then your habits help to shape you. And those are the things that are going to take you into the next 5 years, next decade. And so that was the reason that I picked up Atomic Habits. Um, but in motivating myself, how do I do that? It is reading. It is, like you said, your tribe, making sure that I'm around people that are continuously leveling up. I do
Mhm.
believe wholeheartedly that if you're around people that are going to run 5 miles, you'll be running 5 miles. But
Yeah,
if you're around people that like to sit on the couch and eat, then you'll find yourself sitting on the couch and eating,
and
right?
seeing nothing wrong with it.
And you know what?
Right.
There's a time and place,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all about what are your goals.
Right.
And so for me, how I stay motivated is really, making sure that what is before me is what my eye is on the prize. And when I get
Mhm.
deviated, come on, sister, someone is going to say, hey.
Now, you mentioned COVID earlier, and it's true. A lot of things have had to change for all of us. Like, this is one event that has changed everybody's life.
Mhm.
During COVID, though, what was your biggest aha moment about yourself, or did you have any?
Yes, 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 yes. My biggest aha moment would have to be that life is so about choices.
Mhm.
Now, while the world was going through, I mean, the pandemic was catastrophic in so
Mhm.
many ways. I think that time for me to be by myself, in a sense that I couldn't do anything. I'm with the family. We're at home. You Netflix and snacked out. Now what? So you have the choice. And so the choice to pivot and figure the next thing out, or the choice to wallow. And, you know, I got up after gaining my COVID 15 pounds. I got up and went walking. And
Mhm.
then that walk turned to a jog. And then
Mhm.
I saw myself running, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So just the choice to really, level up, in a sense, if that's what you want to do. And we all have the power to make, incredible things happen in our own lives. So my aha moment was like, girl, you really can do this. It's,
Mhm.
that's what you want to do. Get up,
Yeah.
go. And it was just me and outside by myself.
Did it bring you closer with your kids or with your husband, spending so much time for so long?
For sure, for sure. We were blessed in that way. My husband is a homebody.
Mhm.
So for him, he had his space, and then the
Mhm.
kids, we did our game nights, and we did our,
Mhm.
sitting up talking TikTok. So we had a good time during the pandemic, staying home.
Well, I know you said you were walking, you had your time, but what does self-care look like for Denisha?
Well, self-care for me looks like I love to travel. So when the
Mhm,
world was opening up, was opened up, I was traveling quite a bit more. So,
mhm,
annually I do a girls trip. Self-care looks like me having my quiet time to read or even listen to an audiobook. Um, it's just really being intentional,
mhm.
with taking the time to pamper myself.
Okay, I get that. I get that. I want to ask you one, I'm going to say one word, and I just want you to tell me what comes to mind when I say the word. So the word is, what does freedom mean to you?
Ooh. Um, Freedom to me looks like choices, options.
Mm, yeah. That's
That's what
what so
freedom
many
looks
people
like.
are striving for, and we're about to end the podcast, but I did want you to speak to some of the women, like, because the topic is not the topic, but the podcast title is Dream Girl Dream, because I want the women to dream their biggest dream. That is so important to me, that no matter if you have children, if you have a husband, even if you are an
Mhm.
employee, you can still have a dream. Everybody's dream is not to be an entrepreneur, but everybody has a dream. So even if you
Right.
feel it's so far away, all it is one step. And then tomorrow you take another
Yep.
step. And then tomorrow, and then you look back 365 days later, you're this much closer. So if
Right.
you could say anything to the women listening, just to motivate them, or just give them, it's something to inspire them, a tip or anything, what would you say to the woman that's watching this or listening this to follow their dream?
I would say to whomever is watching this, dream
Mhm,
girl dream, I
mhm,
would say that you are worthy. The minute that we believe that we are worthy of whatever that dream is, and that if you can envision it, it can happen.
mhm,
So
definitely.
I would just say, don't stop dreaming and moving towards it. And if anything gets into your way, step outside of that.
Mhm.
So absolutely, you're worthy, you're deserving, go for it.
And one question that I did forget to ask you, what is your next dream? Like, what is your dream right now? What are you dreaming?
Ooh, my dream right now is to be a multimedia mogul.
Okay.
That is my dream. My dream is for sports and entertainment today to be a bona fide global multimedia platform.
Okay. So what steps are you taking right now?
So right now we have I have a set magazine.
Mhm.
We are doing a specialty of it editions of set. We have the events. We have Women of the NFL going strong, which is all under the set umbrella. Then next up is our TV, set TV.
Mm.
So we've started that, working with a media company on that, and excited about where that is headed. So those are my baby steps
Yeah.
to see this into fruition.
Awesome. Well, I don't know if have you ever read the book or heard of the book, The Big Leap?
No, I haven't read
Okay.
that.
Well, I don't know if what you're reading next, but I just started reading that. I'm a reader like you, but I've been listening to audiobooks because I don't have a lot of time to sit and just do that.
Mm-hmm.
But by chapter two, my mind is already blown with The Big Leap. And I know that a lot of times, honestly, I have self-sabotaged myself. Like when you get to a certain point, you do something to pull yourself back, and then you go back up, and then you do
Mm-hmm.
something to pull yourself back. And I've even said to myself, like, why do I do that? In this book, I learned why in the first chapter. Like I said, I'm
Oh,
listening to it now,
wow.
and it's like mind-blowing. So if you're looking for something new, check out The Big Leap.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's called The Big Leap. And
Okay.
you get I hope
Yes,
we'll
I'm
just
gonna
give
get
you
it, and I'm gonna let you know what
yeah.
I think, or even audiobook. Yes.
Yes, audiobook. I'm listening to it. So I want to thank you for your time. And if you're watching this, check out Denisha. Tell them where they can follow you if they want to follow you or get in touch with you. Uh-oh.
Okay, girl, and anytime. I'm so honored that you even asked me. So thank you.
No,
So
thank
if
you.
you are watching
Yes.
this and you want to keep up, can you hear me?
Yeah, it
Okay.
has stopped
So
or
I was
stalled, but go ahead. Let them know where they can find you online.
Okay, so I am D_Rolle on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm Danisha Rolle, Danisha Hemphill Rolle, my maiden name, on Facebook. But for business, Set Media. So it's Set SET_media on Instagram. It's Set Mag on Twitter, Sports and Entertainment Today on Facebook. And then we also have Women of the NFL if you just want to keep up and see what the significant others of some of your favorite players are doing.
All right, ladies, we'll see you next time. And remember, dream girl, dream.